Hey, Letty,
Yeah, Kelly.
remember that time you couldn't throw away that tank top from 20,000 years ago?
Good morning, everybody. Morning?
Good
Night?
morning.
Are you listening to this midnight? Good midnight?
Night?
Good night.
Good.
No, good night's weird.
Good.
That's because if we're in their ear.
Good. Everything.
Oh, wake them up. Hi, welcome. Welcome to WTH ADHD.
What the hell with clothes and ADHD?
We were sitting here not really knowing what we're going to talk about today. And then, a couple episodes back, we had talked about me getting, that relationship with my closet sort of resolved and starting to, not starting to continue to like prune or whatnot to make it more functional.
No, it's purge.
Which I do periodically. But this time I really sat down and I had in my planner for about a week, how many t-shirts should I own? Question. I Googled it to see what averages are. People have a lot of stuff. So I felt a little better about it. And then I thought about functionality. So what I did is I actually didn't do laundry for 2 weeks. And I wasn't wearing anything dirty though, because I have plenty.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Not have to do laundry for 2 weeks. Right. And what I decided that I was going to be really consciously consuming my clothes. And then when I wore it once, I'd put it in the laundry basket because I'd worn it and enjoyed it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then anything left over at that 2-week mark, then I would take out of the drawer and make decisions.
Okay.
That's kind of how I approached it.
Okay.
So I went ahead and did that and decided that I get overwhelmed by that task all the time because there's so much. And then I get decision paralysis of where to even start, or I'll take everything out because that's what you see on shows. People do it. I have a lot of things. If I take everything out, it will take me weeks. I'll just sleep on clothes.
Right.
So I can't do that. It's not functional. I was like, okay, how about just t-shirts? You do one drawer, right? And then I took out all my t-shirts and everything and made decisions. And not just t-shirts, but t-shirts, tank tops. And then what I had left over, I was aiming for 100 pieces gone.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I didn't reach that number, I went into my closet and pulled a dress up sets, like work sets that I just haven't worn that were really nice and whatever. And I just haven't worn them because they were facing backwards with their hanger for a year. And then I just pulled that until I got to 100. I have not made a dent in.
But it's okay. That's
There's so much more.
Okay, but you haven't made a dent because you haven't gotten rid of that shit yet.
It has nothing to do with that. No, you think
Yes,
it does.
Yes, it does.
What I mean is visually, I haven't made a dent. It still
Because
looks
you haven't
like
gotten rid of the shit that you need to get rid of.
no. It's not in. It's not even in my house.
Where is it?
It's gone.
Where?
Gone to the.
Hi, Jedi.
I agree with you. This is highly upsetting.
He's very upset about it. My dog.
I feel like there's still so much more, and I still feel overwhelmed.
Oh, there's obviously still so much more. Yeah, absolutely. Because 100 pieces out of 3,000 really isn't that much.
I don't even know how much stuff.
Okay, but I'm just saying 100 out of 3,000 isn't that much. So you're telling me you brought that stuff already to the Goodwill?
Yeah.
You swear?
I do, yeah, because I had all this Corey stuff too from the previous thing, so everything's gone.
So it's not in your house?
It's not in my house.
Okay,
It's
good.
Yeah.
Because now you get to go do that all again and pull another 100 pieces. Not yet.
Yeah.
You can mourn whatever loss you've got going on right here.
It's not even like mourn. I'm not
So let's
sad.
get into what it actually is, because we discussed at the beginning of this, you have such a deep, 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 deep relationship with fabric, with clothes,
the art, the beauty, the weave,
the
pattern,
correct,
the texture.
Because that's literally how you were brought up, because your mother is till this day she is a fashion designer. She knows fashion up and down like the back of her hand. That's how she got through her life with you.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So you have a very deep, deep, deep rooted feeling in clothes that
Yeah.
I don't have because I literally had to save my babysitting money to be able to go buy a shirt because my parents, that's just wasn't,
Well,
they provided for us, but it wasn't clothes related. So I had to make my own money to get my own clothes.
my mom didn't make me clothes. Like I had to for
Yeah, yeah,
prom.
yeah.
Prom, I went to my mom's clothing boutique,
Uh-huh.
and she had 2 bags of like these donated clothes that someone had like brought in
Uh-huh.
that we like rifled through like a week before prom because my mom also has ADHD. So the planning went out,
Right.
and we found in there like this fuchsia and black, like tulip cut thing that I would have never really gotten, but it was the closest thing to something looking like a prom dress.
Mm-hmm.
And then that got altered for me to wear, and I pretty much hated it. And that's so it's like that shoemaker's, shoes have holes in it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So because she was so busy doing that all the time, she wasn't like lovingly making me pieces because she was earning her money,
But you gained
sweating
your
her butt
respect for
off
clothes through that, watching her.
and sewing
Yeah.
and cutting fabric and the
Mm-hmm.
sound of cutting fabric.
Mm-hmm.
And my earliest memory I was telling you is like putting my elbow on her industrial sewing machine and placing my palm on my ear and listening to her sew because the engine of the machine sounded like an airplane. I would just like pretend. And then
Mm-hmm.
she'd made me like sort buttons
Mm-hmm.
and whatever. And this is like, I'm very young at this age, like super small. And she had people who worked for her who had knitting machines that would knit fabric to make sweaters. And she dyed her
Wow.
own fabrics and started an incredible trend in the country for these like pirate shirt looking things dyed with little dots that she hand painted on there. Like lot of
Mm-hmm.
good
You have
memories.
a lot.
And then all those memories went away because we left the country overnight and I had a little tiny bag for a 2 week supposed vacation. So I left everything behind. So all those things gone, and I had no way to access them. So I held on to those memories really strongly. And then, clothes were, I had what I had. We definitely didn't buy anything for the next year and a half or whatever, maybe more. And then I don't know. It's a weird relationship for me. Clothes are tied with memories.
Mm-hmm.
So I was telling you, like, of all the things, I mean, several of those items, but in particular, there's one like where this tank top
Mm-hmm.
from whenever Madonna was on tour.
Mm-hmm.
And, that was the first time I had bought like really expensive tickets and went with this great friend and had this really awesome time. And, that tank top, I'm pretty sure shrunk hardcore. And it's hot pink with like like what is it called when it's sparkly? Not glitter, but like shiny, like Madonna
Sequins?
print. No, it's like the like
Oh
it's
my God.
shiny. Like it's shiny. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Glitter?
not glitter. It's the other kind when something's just shiny print.
Oh my God, whatever.
Yeah.
That.
Well, anyways. And I certainly don't wear it. But every time, I'd open my drawer to like put clothes away, that really lovely memory is there. And I got rid of it. I've moved that shirt
Yeah,
like
but
so
you're
many
literally
times.
traumatized by it. And I understand that.
Well,
And
I
you're
miss it.
questioning yourself
I
and
miss it.
you're questioning your actions.
I'm not questioning my actions. I just miss it.
Okay. That's not what
I
you were
know.
saying before. You were having a hard time with it.
Well, I have a hard time with it because I miss it, and I'm going to think about it for a really long time. I know it's the right decision because I don't wear it and I need the space. So
Yeah.
logically, I'm completely fine with what I did because I know I needed to,
Uh-huh.
but I'm going to miss it for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I miss my shirt from when I was 3 because I
Mm-hmm.
remember it very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I get very attached to clothing and shoes and things like that.
Yeah. I don't have that attachment. Definitely.
There's like so many layers to that. Part of that is I change sizes. So then, I hold on to stuff for that size change, or, there's fabrics that I really like how I feel in them. So, hold on to that. Or I found this really awesome find that was a brand that was, designer, and I'll hold on to that.
I remember when do you have your 20-year class reunion? No,
Uh,
10-year. No, I
lo-
think it must have been 10 years. So I was in my 20s.
you have it 10 years after you graduate.
10 years, right? So I had this skirt and shirt that were like my favorite. It was like my favorite outfit, and I felt really cute in it, and I felt just really good in it. I'll never forget this. And I went to the 10-year reunion with friends, and the shirt was white, the skirt was black, and it was long, and it was just one of those really cute flowy skirts back in the day.
Mhm.
My friend's husband spilled red wine on my white shirt. I mean, like,
No.
this was the cutest fucking shirt in the world. Okay, so he spilled
R.I.P.
red
shirt.
wine on this white shirt. So I brought the white shirt and the skirt to the dry cleaners to get cleaned.
Uh-huh.
I go to pick up. They lost my black skirt
No.
and they couldn't clean my white shirt.
Ugh. I'd be
It
like,
was
let me
just-
back here.
It
I'm
was
going to look through all your hangers.
well, in my head, I was like, someone really liked that skirt and they wanted it that work there.
No,
that was in my head.
They literally had ADHD and misplaced.
Probably, but it was devastating at first.
Yeah.
And I still remember feeling devastated.
Mhm.
Like my favorite black skirt. And I couldn't get it again. I couldn't get it anywhere
No,
else.
that's the thing. Like,
And
they
my
don't make it
favorite white
anymore.
shirt. But you know what? Oh, well. Like, I was upset for a minute. And then I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I don't know.
I guess I was meant to have something else.
No, you were meant to have that. And you were parted from it without
It was like, it was
agency and
the
choice.
cutest. It was like my favorite outfit, like
Ah.
ever. I
Mhm.
wore a little jean jacket over it because the white shirt was tight, and then the sleeves came and flared out, so it flared out of the jacket. I mean, it was so fucking cute. And then this cute, nah.
But I feel like you were kind of devastated about it, but it wasn't like
No, but I
something that
remember it.
you
Still.
remember it,
And
yeah.
that was a long time ago.
But did it make you hold on to things a little bit more or anything like that? No. Yeah.
Because I think I felt like I was just going to find another black skirt and white shirt that I'd like just as much.
But that one held the memory of the thing.
No, but I don't have it anymore, so I'm going to have to find something else.
But that new thing won't have the
create-
memory of the old things in
my
it anymore.
my mind, my ADHD shitty mind will. It surprises me how much I hold on to. In my whole life, Leti,
Mhm.
that's the fucking thing I held on to.
Yeah.
At 25,
Memory number
28, at your 10
40
year.
million.
That's all I
22.
remember. Yeah, no,
Super important.
nothing else.
How did the reunion go? I don't know. The skirt.
I don't even remember because it was shocked from the red wine being spilled, and then it's a blur from there.
Oh man. Man.
But I looked real cute.
So I don't know. Do you have maybe it's just me, but do you have attachments to any items that you look at, or things like that you just kind of
For me,
Mhm.
if you look in our office and you look at my side of the office where I hold all my shit,
Mhm.
I'm still holding on to
Is that your clutter of shame?
yeah. So I'm still holding on to the paintings that I painted when I was 8 or 9 years old. My mom.
Oh, I think you should hold on to those for sure.
So, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm holding on to. I have all those paintings.
Let your kid throw it out.
Yes, those are things she can decide if she wants to have or not. So I hold on to that, and I hold on to, God, honestly, nothing
Ugh,
except for pictures.
how?
I don't know.
Just thinking about that made my chest tight to not hold on to things. Isn't that strange?
And then I also have my daughter's. I have a box of firsts.
Oh yeah.
So I've done that
for sure.
So I've held the firsts. I have 2 boxes now that are firsts, and they kind of go all the way. I'm going to have it go all the way through her senior year, and that's about it.
Almost all the art I've kept from my kid.
I have definitely picked and choosed
Choosed? Yeah. You choosed it?
I choose to did
Choosed it.
to keep the stuff. Some stuff I kept, some stuff I didn't, because it would just be too much.
No. I need another attic.
Now, my husband, on the other hand, that's a completely
Okay,
different
so
ballgame.
how's their relationship with stuff?
Horrible.
How so?
He has
Don't
stuff.
call it horrible.
It's horrible. He has
Different. It's
fucking
different.
checkbooks
It's different.
No,
It's different.
no.
It's a difference.
He has checkbooks from 2003.
Sure.
No,
Um,
that makes no sense in life. That's 20 years ago.
You want to look back on when you wrote that check
No,
in
you don't.
2003? No, I don't know. I'm trying to
No.
make excuses for
He's
that.
doing really well, though. You know he's doing really well.
Mhm.
Because my husband is an avid toy
Collector.
collector.
Mhm.
And when I say toys,
LP and toy.
I mean Legos. I mean
The high end, in box,
no,
unboxed, never touched.
Oh, no. He has every fucking McDonald's toy from the end of
Hey,
time.
those things are like
We've looked them up. No, they're not
No?
worth any money. So shut up. The Legos, yes. All his Legos.
no one wants a little Ronald McDonald and Hamburglar.
No.
The 70s.
But he has like old Disneyland maps in perfect condition
See?
from 1978. So we're going through everything to collect it and
It'll
to
go in the Disney Museum.
no. But he we looked them up. They're worth a little bit of money now, but they're pretty pristine.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of them out there when you start to look this stuff up and see how much they're worth, because you think a 1978 Disneyland poster from Big Thunder Mountain that is no longer existing now, that might be worth something. I mean,
Why
it's
isn't
like
it
maybe
framed and like
$100 maybe you could get, which is a lot of money.
Why isn't it framed and like on the wall?
Because he just found, we're going through everything right now. We're literally archiving and inventorying his collection because I can't have it in the garage anymore. Remember, I can't. There's so many boxes. He's made 20 boxes so far of all of his collection and inventoried it so that we can then go back and really, really look. He's got some really good old Lego stuff. In my head, Letty, this is for my daughter's college education.
And in his head,
I don't think
that's
he
where it's
thinks
going.
like that.
But I think when the date comes,
It's another story.
that is for your retirement.
His record collection, Letty,
is awesome, and I love it.
Awesome, and
I covet it.
It's thousands of records.
My neighbors,
3,500 some odd.
Unreal
albums.
how awesome it
That's
is.
worth some money. That whole
I
collection
just want to spin it every day.
could be worth some serious money. I don't think we're gonna.
Don't let it go ever.
I'm gonna let it when we need to move.
No,
We're retiring and we can't bring all that.
Yes, you can. You put them in boxes, Kelly. That's what movers are for.
Someone will love them very much.
I will hold on to them temporarily
All
and
these
listen
toys,
to them.
someone's gonna love them very much.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I used to have a more need to save things. I've lost that.
How? So what happened? How did you do it?
I don't know. I think I just realized through this journey of ADHD, I feel like the clutter is more of a problem than the sentimental value, because I feel like I have a nice little home, but I just feel like it's so cluttered.
Yeah, and then
I've been working on getting rid of that clutter, which has been great because we've gotten to the point where we are like 3 weeks out. We have so much trash. We're 3 weeks out because there's so much trash on the side of the house that we've thrown away. We can't keep up with the pickups.
It's at nighttime, like just put it into people's trash cans on the day of trash day. That's what I do.
My husband's thought process is to just order another trash can for a couple of months, and then we put the trash can, give it back.
Take it out at night. Yeah, I mean, the cluttering is definitely what's been motivating me because, it cuts into my creative sense, and it has that latent anxiety that runs through me that I don't really recognize. And it prevents me from being able to relax and, do stuff because I don't have space to do things in or that.
I think that's a big motivation because you're learning your space now is becoming more important to you so that you have more of it. You have so much space. When you look at your house, there's so much space. There's so many rooms, and you don't have a big house. And I'm not trying to say that at all.
It's
Like,
my palace.
no, we live in nice,
There's
modest,
18 bedrooms and
nice, modest, 1,300 square feet
16
home.
bathrooms.
Right. Really just nice, good.
A library.
But we need to be able to live in it. And
I can live in it.
Letty, I have a hard time walking in your house.
Oh my God.
Right.
Why?
Because there's so much stuff.
But what do you mean?
Huh? Yeah.
I mean, look, books are important.
I'm not talking about books.
Instruments.
I'm not talking about instruments.
There's like 18 instruments in my house. Inkwells. We collect inkwells.
Oh I'm speechless now.
The inkwells are in their own little display case. My speech therapy stuff is hard. I think, the pandemic when it came and we had to convert to telehealth, I feel like I had this like really good handle on my house.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that came, because all those materials and everything had to come home and also had to be accessible on a daily basis, but not in an office space. So, and I had to sit in some way where I could deliver that therapy. And that ended up being the living room.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm still like.
Once your living room became your office.
Yeah,
your sitting room became your living room.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Your actual
den
became everything, basically. Like everybody lives in there.
Yeah.
Everybody lives in there.
All their stuff. Yeah.
There's nowhere for, yeah.
So I'm still kind of digging myself out of that and trying to figure out how to,
it's hard.
That one's
it's
still
overwhelming.
Yeah.
My suggestion, and this is what we did.
Don't work out of your house.
No. What we did when we started with the garage is I made 3 trash bags for Claudio. And what's so funny is one trash bag, and I'm talking about the gigantic black trash bags. One was just for recycle bags. Okay.
What exactly do you want me to put in there?
All the Ralph's, Trader Joe's, every free bag that is a reusable, recyclable bag. When that whole thing happened, I said, this bag is literally just for those reusable bags. It got filled up, by the way.
What do you want me to put in them, though? I keep asking you, like, what do you want me to get rid of?
We filled a trash bag of those bags, Letty. Okay. Listen, I had so many reusable bags. I filled a black trash bag of them. Do you hear? Like, it was probably 600 bags because they're just little reusable bags.
This is clearly highly upsetting for you.
What the fuck do you do with 600 reusable bags?
You can strip them into plastic strips and weave a.
You're fucking nuts. So I had 3 trash bags. One was just for reusable bags, and it got filled up. And I have it here, and I can show you it.
I believe you. You're so angry right now.
Angry that
your eyebrows are like.
This is all he had to do.
Mad.
This is all we had to do before we did anything was that. There was one trash bag, and then there was one clothes bag to donate to. So anything that was fabric related, because there's sleeping bags that went into there. There was suitcase bags.
Okay, just take a breath.
I'm getting so worked up. I can't.
We're gonna have people like forwarding through this, like forward, like skip.
The fact of the matter is, the first thing he needed to do before he could do anything was get rid of the trash.
Well,
the unnecessary stuff.
I don't have trash. I have therapy materials. I have, like 20 board games. I have, like little boxes of like.
I guarantee you within your fucking 40 board games, there's probably 3 of the same.
No repeats.
Okay. There's probably missing pieces.
Nope. I'm very, very like particular about that. No missing pieces.
Honestly, she kills me, people.
No,
she has an answer for everything.
Those are therapy things. Those are sacramental. I take care of my therapy materials.
Those should be in special places.
Yes.
Actually.
That is a fact. I need an office.
Yeah. You do.
Yeah. It's I'm working on it, trying to figure it out.
I need you to go through and try to figure out what is trash and what isn't.
You know what I can get rid of? that's in my garage
Hmm.
is the bakery.
Oh my God, get rid of the bakery. I got rid of the bakery a long time ago.
Sugar flowers, demi cakes,
Yeah.
like all those things that I can get rid of, and
We can
them
see if anyone
definitely.
wants them.
Well, and that's what my thought has been.
Maybe, but they're
Like I
old. Like
walked
who
into,
wants them? Actually, to be
but
honest,
they're
Letty.
packaged and beautiful. I mean, those don't, I walked into a baker and asked them, like, do you guys have like a need for like pans and equipment and things like that? And they're like looking at me like I'm from Mars. So I was like, all
Really?
right. I would have
Okay.
been all over it, but that's because I always look at stuff and value them. So I don't
I
know,
need you
but
to.
that's
Maybe that's.
definitely.
I think you should.
But it's in the garage. It's not even inside my home. I'm trying to deal with the inside of my home.
But I feel like you need to make room for some places
Yeah, I mean, I have
to put
cabinetry in
stuff
there.
in. Take out of the home to put in the garage. If it's stuff that you really, really, really want
Hmm.
to keep, then maybe it's time to
Yeah,
make a dedicated space for them.
true, true, true.
I moved finally. Literally, we had board games everywhere. My room, daughter's room,
Oh, I have them in
office.
one place.
We had them everywhere. I finally, because I cleaned out
Mhm.
that cabinet in the hallway, all of the board games are up top there. Like,
No, two.
finally in one place so that haven't played one of them
Well,
in
I have them in two places because one
years.
is games that we would actually play with the family, and then the other one is really just the
Mhm.
therapy because they're younger games. No, my puzzles are kind of all over the place. Those I need to consolidate.
Mhm.
I don't know.
You're really just, you have a huge block. You're
And I have
so
large
blocked.
inventories of
Uh,
things, right? So
but I need
there's
you
a
to go
large
through the
inventory of
large
puzzles.
inventory of things and see what you can do to scale it down. Kim Kardashian, and we talk about the
I'm
Kardashians.
gonna just like live in a portion of her house with my stuff.
You could, but this is but
Like in
one of
her
the
garage next to her like 8 baby vehicles that are
right.
parked in their own parking zone.
I had to laugh at her. We always say Kardashians, more power to them. I think they're moguls, they're whatever. The one thing that made me laugh was, and I watched the show, 100%. I watch it. She has storage units of archiving. She archives her stuff. Now she's
She
a
has
star, and she has some.
businesses.
She
Yeah.
has like huge pieces. Like if you told me you wanted to throw away one of your Dolce and Gabbana, I'd say, no, you keep that shit.
Right?
That's the shit
That's
you
what I'm
keep.
saying.
So she has her archives of all her beautiful, beautiful, beautiful
Mm,
things.
mm.
But she
Donate them to a
said,
museum one day.
and she's trying to cut them down, and she's realizing a lot of the stuff she needs to cut down. And she went through Kanye's, her ex-husband's storage units. And I guess she's like, he had 14 storage units and I cut it down to 3.
What? How did she do that?
Right?
You know
Now,
how she did it?
can you imagine what he kept?
But you know how she did it? She was really mad at him. You know what? I'm throwing this out, and you never looked at this. And
No, she did
oh,
it
I
when they were
remember when you
happy.
wore this. You were looking at that
No,
other.
but she kept all the important pieces. Like I will say this, but this is what I need you to start doing. You
But
need to
she's
start.
making a decision for someone else. That is so much easier than making decisions for yourself.
No, but you have to think. She's not thinking. She's thinking. She's really putting thought into the pieces that are being kept, so that those could be kept for
Yeah.
whatever. So no, there is like serious thought process that goes
I'm
into
sure
her
there
or
is.
whatever. And
Look,
I'm
I have
giving her so much fucking
ADHD
credit.
compounded by trauma, which makes this
If Kim
process
Kardashian
is
can
really
cut down
difficult.
14 of Kanye's storage units, you can make 3 trash
know what?
bags of
Give me-
trash just from your living room.
You know what? I don't have trash in my living room.
Yes, you do.
No, what
I'm not
trash?
talking about what you think is
What are you talking about?
keepable?
Trash?
I'm talking about stuff that you think you should keep that is not worth keeping.
Like what are you
Okay,
thinking?
I'm
Trash?
going to come into your house. I'm going to go, Letty, do you need this fucking piece of paper from 2013? Yes, I need it because it says something for speech pathology. And I'm going to make a fucking scan of it, and you're going to put it on your phone.
I
and
have
we're
been
going to throw
scanning.
this away.
No, I have been scanning.
That's what I'm going to do. Our next
no,
episode,
I have been
people,
scanning.
is going to be after Kelly goes to Letty's house and teaches her how to create trash out of what she doesn't think is trash. And I bet you I
Just
will
'cause
find
you don't
trash.
value it.
No,
One person's trash is
it's
another
someone else's
person's treasure.
but not a fucking piece of paper from 2013. That is not.
Depends
No,
on
there's
the
no depending.
data.
No, it's 20 years old. You scan it, you put it in your
Sure.
fucking archive, and you throw it away.
And then I won't remember it exists.
Because you know why?
'Cause I'm not coming across it
Because
physically.
it's not important. Because it's not important. You didn't
No.
use it 10 years ago and you're never going to use it now. But you have your scan just in case you remember. Holy shit, Kelly, that paper she threw away had a word on it. And
That's
you
right.
can go back into your scans and find it.
So you're saying I have paper clutter. Is that what you're saying?
Oh my God, you're hilarious. I have no idea what kind of clutter you have because I haven't been in that living room in a very long time.
Oh, well, you'll be pleasantly surprised at
Okay, then let me into the
that.
guest room.
Sure.
Let me into the upstairs room that's hidden.
That has tar bites in it.
Then let me in there
Sure.
and let me get rid of that shit.
Great.
Oh, I'm going to come over and get rid of tar bite stuff for you.
You know what? I would love that.
Okay.
Actually,
good.
I actually would love that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because remember, we have like 8 boxes of pens.
Does anyone know what tar bites is?
No, it's our old bakery.
We had a bakery,
It's been gone many years ago.
but like we had a bakery.
So
called Tar
I know
Bites.
you're like really like amped up about this.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be so amped up, and I apologize for being kind of
No, it's okay.
uppity, but
But I think what also happens, Kelly, here is you have a very different ADHD and focus
absolutely,
than
you're
I
correct.
do.
You are correct.
And what I'm experiencing with you right now
Mhm.
is very typical in that I don't feel understood. I feel like
Aw.
no, but I want to put it out there because I feel like a lot of people have this kind of experience.
Uh-huh.
And it's your parents, it's your friends,
Mhm.
it's your relatives coming into your home and telling you about how wrong and how horrible you are because you're clearly a child who's unable to
Wow.
clear their home
Okay.
and keep
Okay.
a normal adult human household. Now, let me
Yes.
finish. So I
Mhm.
know you're nodding, but let me just talk about these emotions that come up
Mhm.
when you're being told that what's wrong with you because I can come in there and I can just do it for you. And what happens often is people do come in because at one point you do feel like, oh my God, I clearly need help. There's something wrong with me. I can't do it. And then you go in and you help this person who has ADHD and has difficulty with this task. And what
Mhm.
you're doing is you're taking away their agency to learn from this experience and to be able to understand the processes behind it. And so every time you clean up your child's room, every time you clean up a
Mhm.
friend's room, they don't gain the skill of how to do it. So this skill for me is taking a really long time, but it is building, right? And so,
But
come
can
in
I
with
say, but me
no,
coming, no.
I'm not done yet
Okay.
because I have a lot of feelings inside me right now
Mhm.
that I do want to express. And I'm not mad at you in any way,
I
but
don't think you're mad at me at all.
no, but I
don't
do
think
want
that
to
at all.
identify these feelings I'm experiencing so that when you, our lovely listener, are getting this experience, what can you do? Because there's 2 options, maybe 3. One, I'm going to shut it down. I'm just going to agree with whatever they're saying, right? Because I'm feeling horrible, and that really, horror of someone seeing your place as being a giant trash dump or whatnot, makes you want to cry. I kind of want to cry right now.
Just cry.
And,
Oh.
like,
Mhm.
or you want to just be like, okay, I'll just throw everything out because then it's an all or nothing option, right? And that's not good either. But what's going to happen is this thing's going to happen again. You're going to end up in an accumulation state and it's going to happen again. So I think a really slow and gentle approach, like just taking my t-shirts versus, everything that I look around and see. I almost didn't do it because I felt so overwhelmed
Mhm.
because I know this needs to be done, that needs to
Mhm.
be done.
Mhm.
So that executive function component of one starting to sequencing and organizing these things in your head in a way that feels doable,
Mhm.
those are impaired. And to, a lesser or greater degree in whatever area that might be for you, whether that's work or home or things like that. So, you know, how do you channel this? And I have to, at this point, go back to my tools of giving myself a little self-love and knowing that it's okay if someone doesn't understand where you're coming from, what you're working through,
Mhm.
and just kind of getting into a space where, one, you forgive the other individual for not understanding you because they're your best friend and that's not how they see the world.
Mhm.
And then, giving yourself a little bit of that space to know that even though you've been working so hard and someone else sees your home as a trash dumpster, that you have been making gains and it's okay and it's going to take a little time.
Mhm.
So while I cry right now for a little bit because I'm acknowledging these feelings and not shoving them deep down inside
Good, I'm
like
very
I
proud of you.
normally do,
I'm proud of
I'm going to
you.
let you talk for a minute.
Okay. I completely understand why you think I'm trashing you and trashing your house.
Not trashing me.
Your house. I understand that.
My dumpster
Absolutely.
with seagulls flying over it
Yeah,
and
'cause that's
hamburgers
what you've created in your mind.
in piles
Yeah,
over
that's
trash.
what you've created in your mind from what I said, but I didn't actually say that at all. None of that came out of my mouth.
That's how I feel.
Uh-huh.
But it's
Absolutely.
okay. Feelings are valid. Not realistic,
Oh my
but
God.
valid.
Absolutely. I totally understand that. What I want to say to you is I definitely can be harsh in words when I get worked up. I get that.
Buy your 600 trash bags. Or
Yeah.
what kind of bags? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. I can be harsh. But if you were to allow me to come into your house, what you would see, what I would do is not invalidate anything that's going on in your house. I would never invalidate pieces of material.
You mean
But
that paper from 2013?
Yes. But that's an actual fact, is it not?
Maybe. It depends on the paper. I don't know what you're talking about. That's the thing,
That's
right?
a fact, right? Just because the paper is from 2003, I'm not telling you you're a fucking pig. No, that's not what I said.
That's what I heard.
That's what you heard. That's what you heard. And I appreciate that because I hear I'm a fucking pig all the time and nobody has ever said that to me in my life. What I would do is come in there with you if you wanted me to. And I would literally sit down with you and we would discuss each piece of thing. And I would
takes
not
too long. Like I'm already tired. I'm already tired from that. And we haven't even done it. It sounds exhausting.
But I
don't want to talk about it.
Once it happened, it would get easier and easier because it just takes the start.
No, I don't think talking about it makes it easier.
I understand that you're fighting me on all of this. Absolutely. I feel it.
I've done this.
No.
I've done this. And it doesn't make it easier. Ultimately, I have to just put it into small increments and put it in front of me, which is what I've been doing with papers is I take small increments of it and just go through it. But discussing and that stuff, because then I feel like there's room for me to make an excuse for the item or to explain, or I feel like I need to explain myself for the item and it puts me like in a defensive state. So I don't know.
You can also go, what do you think, Kelly?
No, because I know what you're going to think. Get rid of it. I don't need to ask.
So why don't you attempt to start?
I have been, but I do it every day.
You know what? You're right. You have been. You have been.
Every day.
Every day you have been. You're right. I feel like I just want to help you more. And that's just because I know it will help your overall overwhelmness, but it is a process and it takes time. You're right.
But there's a balancing act there too, because if you do it too fast when you're not ready for that much, then you're going to create this panic. And that panic can result in a refill of that space because I can't have empty cupboards because having empty cupboards reminds me of not having food, right? So I fill my cupboards with things to the brim. And that makes me feel like I'm going to be okay. And my kids are going to be okay. If something happens, we have food, right? Now, if I were to empty all my cupboards, right, and just put in the 2 cans that are, viable and those things, I would look at it and go, oh my God, I need to go shopping and fill it versus slowly paring it down. So visually I can get accustomed to what feels like not food scarcity. So same goes for a lot of those other things. So I've been working through them very slowly. So you can't, like those purges I see on TV, like you get rid of everything. Like that's terrifying to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would like our listeners to tell me if they imagine my home with little aisles that you can walk through because I'm a hoarder, because that's what I feel like
It's not
people are
like
going to
that.
think. No, with bags and like overflowing bags of trash. I don't know. I don't know what people are thinking now. I feel like a horrible person.
Oh my God. Fuck them if that's what they think.
Well, they don't know. We're leaving it to their imagination. I feel embarrassed.
Okay, but you know what's
I feel
so funny?
so embarrassed.
You know what's so funny is they're probably like relating so much, and they probably have the same fucking shit and the same piles. I got a pile over there. I got a pile over here. I got a pile over there. I got about 85 piles in the garage because the garage is a
But you're
fucking
calling them
process.
piles and you called mine trash.
Because I cleaned all of the actual trash that was in it, and there was a lot of trash.
So you're saying I still have trash?
You might have stuff that's really easily to throw away, but you just can't see it because you see all the good stuff that you're keeping, and then that stuff
I
gets
guess my
tucked
thing is
underneath.
you're calling it trash, and trash for me is like
Mhm.
food scraps.
And I guess trash for
and,
me
like-
is stuff that you don't need in your home anymore because you don't use it.
Okay.
And when I say you, I mean a collective.
No, and I
You.
think defining the term trash would be really
Yes.
important right
Sorry,
now.
So maybe I need to tie. Okay.
Because trash for me is landfill, like
Right.
versus
And for
things that you
me,
donate to.
trash is 3,000 reusable bags. Why do I have
Sure, that's trash,
trash to me?
right? And I don't
But
have
it's not
trash like that.
because I'm not going to throw it away. I'm actually going to give it away because some people might be able to use all those bags. There's a lot of great bags and they might not want to.
Those should be recycled. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So it's not trash,
recycling-
but it's trash in my house.
Yeah,
to me, so I
recycling is
apologize.
trash, and so I don't have jars and things hanging out that can be
Right.
recycled. Like,
But I was calling that trash. I was calling bags of clothes that were sitting in my garage trash.
is it because it's in a trash bag?
And it literally is just blocking my walkway.
Okay.
It's unusable.
And it's interesting too, because I'm
and
thinking about it. Like
taking
trash
up
for me is
space.
also synonymous
That's
with
trash.
dirty.
Oh, see,
And-
trash to me isn't dirty.
So trash is dirty, like
Mhm.
that apartment with like food wrappers and pizza
Mhm.
boxes on the floor and
Well, that's just
roaches everywhere.
gross.
That's for me trash, because that I could pick up
Mhm,
and throw out. That's trash. Trash is something easily
mhm.
thrown out,
So we
right?
have a different
Mhm.
thought on trash. So I need to use my words wisely.
Maybe with Claudia too.
No, he's fine with that.
You're trash.
No, I wasn't saying you're trash. I was just saying the trash that we have accumulated. How about what's another word for that then?
I guess it's extra stuff that you don't need. Yeah.
So all this extra stuff that we don't need, that we accumulated, we finally collected and realized it and then got rid of it.
And I think this is really like a very important thing to recognize too, because ADHD comes with that rejection sensitivity
Mhm.
dysphoria.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you not you necessarily, but
The
let's
collective.
say a
you.
neurotypical comes over to you and says your house is, cluttered with trash. Like that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's like cigarette butts and
Yet none of us smoke.
and like newspapers from the 30s piled
Yet
to the
none of-
ceiling.
Get
Right.
newspaper.
But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
because
no, I
that
get
is
it. I
literally,
get it.
so
I get
it's
it.
literally trash versus
Sorry,
a
and
loved
trash-
item
Mhm.
that, could go
I
somewhere
think-
else and it could be thrown out and it could technically be trash can worthy, but not necessarily dirt and filth and trash.
Right. I think that you probably have stuff that is so donatable because you keep such good care of your stuff that I do think that you probably have donatable stuff worthy for somebody else to use because you haven't used it in a while.
Okay, that's a really beautiful way of putting
Right.
it. That's so much better. It comes in much better.
Okay. Like you are a fabulous collector.
I am a collector.
Really beautiful things.
Yes.
The problem is You love to collect so many things.
I do. And that is the problem. That's
maybe
very
someone
true.
else would love some of your collection
Mhm.
and maybe they can't afford it. So you donate it and then they get that collection at a really small price.
If someone out there really loves to knit, I have 2 beautiful bins of alpaca yarn and
I mean,
all kinds
I
of
feel like I know so many
gorgeous
people who knit.
yarns that I really just haven't had the opportunity to explore deeper. Maybe I'll wait until I'm 90
Retired.
and that's all I can do. And if you're interested, just
Say, I'll take that off your,
I'll
off
bring it
your,
over lovingly with the
yes.
300 knitting needles. And
See, see, that's the thing I know about you is you have 300 knitting needles. You're literally one person.
well,
My grandma
depends on
knitted.
the
She didn't
size.
have 300 knitting needles. And let me
But I
tell
do
you,
want
she
it to go
made.
somewhere where I know it's going to get loved like I do
Absolutely.
too. And I think that's part of the
Absolutely.
problem, I guess.
So
for
maybe
those
we
things
come up
too.
with an Etsy shop.
Or I can just take it to a senior citizen place and they can probably give it to people who actually
Right.
are spending their time knitting in California.
But I
Because
mean,
we
if
need
you-
sweaters.
Okay, but here's the
We
thing.
need sweaters here. I realize this is like the worst craft to pick up because I made
But then
scarves
here's the other thing,
for
Letty.
everyone and no one wore them.
Here's the thing. You might have some really good yarn and you could maybe just have you could make some money and make here is a knitting thing for beginners and all the best yarn or for intermediate or professionals. I have all this
What's
professional
intermediate yarn?
I don't know. Isn't there different types of yarn
I
that's
think
good and
the
isn't
patterns
good?
that get difficult.
Oh, what do I know? I thought it
This
was
alpaca
yarn.
is intermediate.
Alpaca yarn intermediate. What's a professional?
Sheep is beginners.
Okay. And then what's
maybe
oh
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like
What the hell?
like sloth yarn.
I was gonna say that. I don't want to shave a sloth.
No, they give it up willingly. Like you just collect it from their where they're hanging. You put a drop cloth.
You just shave them right there. All right.
Oh
Well,
my god.
here. This is what we've
You
learned.
separate out the moss that grows on their back from the yarn, and then you spin it.
And then we spin it. This is what we've learned. Trash means
Different things.
different things to different people.
Be careful with your ADHDers. And if someone has done that to you, ADHDer, go ahead and let that person know in a question. What do you mean by trash? Maybe before you get all upset about it.
I know that's really hard, but I guess I would just get upset about it. No, and that's fine. Letty just went.
It's my turn to cry on this episode
of emotions because I said that because I called her trash basically,
and then I just got really embarrassed and ashamed. Right? That shame.
I saw that.
And that shame, is a huge part of our need to mask and hide that we've got it together.
Mm-hmm.
And then when someone even though you feel like you've been working so hard, someone says no, you haven't. And you're just oh, fuck it off. I'm just going to go eat.
Well, I'm sorry if you felt that way because that's definitely, but I know I'm harsh at the beginning and I have these harsh tendencies.
Oh, but I did too. It's recognizing.
Because I feel like I know you are so much better than what you think you are and it makes me mad and I just want to scream at you. That's what it is. But I know that that's not how the process works.
It's not
I
helpful.
want to beat it out of you. I just want to beat you into submission.
That's been done to me before, so and I didn't like it.
But that was a whole different scenario.
I didn't like it. It was very traumatic.
But yeah, wow, what a great episode. That was a little bit of a
maybe
a little back and forth. You get to feel how Kelly's felt the last 2 episodes now, and you get to take that home. Think about it for a while, and then we'll
do some mindful reflection on this episode. No, I think I did okay because I was able to actually not just identify that I was having emotions and I wasn't trying to pretend that I was okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't trying to just not acknowledge them to myself or to you.
Mm-hmm.
I went ahead and let it out.
I'm proud of you.
Sure.
Now you sound just like I sound at the end of those episodes, but we'll reflect. In the next episode.
I'll write another thing really fast that's completely illegible and I'll read it to you and I won't be able to read it.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, party people, if you have trash in your home, Don't feel bad. It's fine. Just
Kelly will
shoo
just
out the seagulls.
come and take it.
Get a friend to come in with a rake and a dumpster, and you're fine.
You'll be just fine.
Tell us about your piles of trash so I feel better. Tell me about your relationship with your shoes and clothes or tchotchkes and send it in so I can feel better about myself. And I will tell you to love those objects. And then, yeah,
all is good. Thank you for listening
to WTH ADHD. Bye.
Bye. This has been a Hi It's Me ADHD production.